Hey, what is up guys? My name is Oleg, this is Bond. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to do a full review of the Spinnaker diver watch. The reference number is... what is the reference number? The reference is SP-5057-05. Now this is the second Spinnaker watch that I review on the channel. I actually reviewed one a few months ago. That one was provided by one of the local subscribers. Big thank you, Ivan, once again. It's always nice to see subscribers provide their watches for review. Now this one was actually provided by Spinnaker themselves. They reached out and asked me to pick any watch on their website for review. I picked this one. I like the vintage aesthetic of it. I like the price point and the specs that are offered. The watch costs $185, has a sapphire crystal, automatic Seiko NH35 movement, and a pretty cool vintage diver aesthetic. So let's get into the review. Spinnaker SP-5057. Let's look at the dimensions of the watch first. We have a case diameter of 41 millimeters, a lug-to-lug width of 49.5 millimeters, a lug width of 20 millimeters, and the thickness of 14 millimeters. I think the watch fits the wrist pretty well. It is kind of thick at 14 millimeters, but it does have an inner rotating bezel, so a lot of thickness is due to that. I think it's fairly comfortable on the wrist. The short 49 millimeter lug-to-lug width helps with the fit on my 7¼ inch wrist, and currently it's on a supplied leather strap, so that's what it looks like on the wrist. The watch has an all stainless steel case. The case is all brushed with some alternating brushing patterns and some very interesting angles to the case. I quite like the case design. As you can see, the lugs are pointing downwards and the brushing here is different from the brushing at the top. Pretty good finish for a watch under $300. Quite like the design of this watch. It's a throwback to a lot of vintage divers, and if you follow the channel for a while, you know that I love vintage watches and I love aesthetic of vintage watches. One of the throwbacks is the inner rotating bezel. So as you can see that the bezel is actually housed under this sapphire crystal, and there are two crowns. One is at 2 o'clock position, one is at the 4 o'clock position. The one at the 4 o'clock position is signed with the Spinnaker logo, and that's the crown that powers the movement of the watch. So the watch is powered by a Seiko NH35 movement. Very reliable movement found in a lot of micro brand watches. This one is fairly accurate. I'm getting within 13 seconds per day. Can't really complain about that with an introductory automatic watch. The crown at the 2 o'clock position, that's the one powering the inner rotating bezel. As you can see, the bezel rotates bidirectionally, which means it rotates in both directions. It's quite easy to rotate. There is enough grip, but I do wish there was maybe a little bit more grip. I don't know how they can achieve it. Maybe make the crown slightly larger, because as of right now, it's fairly easy to rotate this bezel, but not as easy as it could be. Another throwback to vintage diver watches is that water resistance rating. So the watch is rated to 150 meters of water resistance. A lot of vintage divers were rated to that depth rating, so that's a nice kind of homage or a tip of a hat to vintage divers. We also have a screw down case back, of course, helping with that water resistance. And I don't know if I mentioned, but this crown at the 4 o'clock position is a screw down crown versus the crown at the 2 o'clock position. The one that's operating in a rotating bezel is not a screw down crown, so you can just operate it as you wish. The case back is a see-through case back, so you can see the movement. Seiko NH35, not the prettiest movement to look at. However, I do like the custom rotor with the Spinnaker logo and Spinnaker colors. This model is available in a few different color combinations. I got the blue dial one with sunburst effect, and I gotta tell you, this dial is gorgeous to look at. A lot of detail, applied indices. You can see the minute running track on the outside of the dial, and then you have the inner rotating bezel. So the dial has depth to it. Even the inner rotating bezel, you can see all the numbers are kind of raised, so they're not flat on that bezel. Again, a lot of detail. The dial does look quite nice and it plays with the light really well. There's a date window at the 3 o'clock position. The date window has a lot of depth, and normally I don't like date windows on diver watches, but I think this one is integrated really well. It fits there really well and it doesn't throw off the symmetry of the dial. What's more, I like the border around the window, and I like that the window is deep black color so it matches the overall color scheme of the watch and it's integrated there seamlessly. I also like the set of hands that we get. So there is a little lollipop in orange on the seconds hand. The hours hand is a very unique design, and of course the whole dial and the hands are loomed. Let me pop a loom shot on the screen right now. Yeah, the loom is pretty good, although it doesn't last very long, so maybe a few more layers would be beneficial. The watch comes on this leather strap. The leather strap is pretty good. It's thick, the inside of it feels like rubber. I don't think it is rubber, but it just feels like it. Spinnaker logo stamped on the inside, Spinnaker logo on the tank buckle. Pretty good, pretty comfortable strap, although no quick release pins, so that's a bit of a negative for me. Another negative is the fact that the watch is a diver watch, but it doesn't come with a rubber strap and it doesn't come with a NATO strap, so the only strap that the watch comes with is this leather strap. Normally I don't show the watch box all that much when I review watches, but I thought this one was pretty interesting. So you open it as such. This portion is magnetized. It is just a paper box, but I think it's done pretty well. Pretty cool design, and you open it as such. I like the slim and slender profile of this, so you can store it in your house without having it to take up half of your shelf. Alright guys, so that's the full review for the Spinnaker diver watch. I really like it. I like the vintage diver aesthetic. I like the color combination. The specs are pretty good, and the price at $285 I think is very reasonable for the kind of watch that you get. Now I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this Spinnaker watch, and let me know what is your favorite Spinnaker watch out of their lineup, if you have any experience with the brand. On my wrist today, I'm wearing my $50 Guanchin watch. Of course, there is a full review of this watch on the channel. I will also link it in the description below. Also in the description, there is a secret link. Have a look if you're curious. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun, and I will see you guys next time.